Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds announces Iowa's existing disaster emergency proclamation will be extended through June 25th. She's also making some changes to the public health measures which have been put in place, and she's announcing when more businesses will be able to reopen.
And effective next Monday, June 1st, additional businesses may reopen. Speedways and racetracks can open events to spectators. Outdoor performance venues such as amphitheaters and grandstands can hold live performances. Casinos and gaming facilities may reopen, as well as amusement parks, bowling alleys, pool halls, and arcades, all at 50% of normal operating capacity and according to social distancing, hygiene, and public health measures.
Also effective on June 1st, social, community, recreational, leisure, and sports gatherings of more than 10 people will be permitted again. People must still maintain social distancing, as you just heard the governor mention, and venues will be limited to 50% capacity. With the governor's announcement, Iowa casinos are preparing to reopen after being shut down for nearly 3 months. That includes Grand Falls Casino in Larchwood, Iowa. General Manager Sharon Hasselhoff says they've been preparing for this announcement. She says for the past 2 weeks, they have had their employees go through training on new procedures, including proper sanitation and social distancing. Table games will be limited to 3 players at a time, and they are hopeful guests will social distance when using slot machines. She says unless employees are behind plexiglass, they will be required to wear a mask. She says their #1 priority is the safety of guests and their employees. We also reached out to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. They say they're still working out plans and are unsure whether they will be able to reopen on June 1st. Arnold's Park Amusement Park says they are expecting to reopen soon with provisions in place. The amusement park remained closed over the Memorial Day weekend because staffers were awaiting official word from the governor. Now, Governor Reynolds says Iowa parks can reopen on June 1st. The park's marketing director says they are installing hand sanitizer dispensers, instructing employees to wear masks, and creating social distancing in rides. Although Reynolds says parks will be able to reopen in June, Arnold's Park has not yet confirmed its plans. Bacon Fest is a go. The Siouxland Habitat for Humanity Board of Directors and Bacon Fest Committee are going ahead with plans to hold the annual signature fundraising event on Saturday, September 19th. Habitat for Humanity says Bacon Fest will implement all CDC and local guidelines regarding health safety during the event. Organizers are changing the time from 3 to 7 p.m. More details will be announced as they become available. In Iowa on May 28th, bars, wineries, breweries, distilleries, and other social or fraternal clubs can open. According to the new public health measures, those businesses must follow the same guidelines as restaurants, including limiting normal operating capacity to 50% and social distancing at 6 feet. Those bars will reopen in less than 48 hours. Staff and managers at several Sioux City bars have been busy over the past week, making sure they are prepared to safely welcome new and returning customers. In addition to only allowing half the capacity of guests, bar owners are encouraged to train their staff to enforce social distancing. One manager of several bars in downtown Sioux City and her staff have adjusted many aspects of their establishments to ensure safety. She says Rebo's, Beer Can Alley, and the Key Club will be open on Thursday.
Obviously keeping account of how many people are coming through the door, as well as we've just taken away tables, so that way, as far as in here, it makes it a little easier. That way we can definitely monitor it. And as far as the other establishments, I know that they are implementing the same thing.
While it might be somewhat difficult to ensure all customers are social distancing, managers with all 3 bars say they are going to do the best they can. We are still seeing positive cases of COVID-19 rise in Woodbury County. The Siouxland District Health Department reported 26 new cases this morning for a total of more than 2,600 positive cases. 1,280 of those cases have recovered. 30 have died. More than 10,000 tests have been conducted in Woodbury County. State officials are keeping a close eye in Buena Vista and Sioux counties. Sioux County is reporting 204 cases, up 22 from Friday. Buena Vista is reporting 254 cases, up 118 from Friday. Neither county has reported any deaths. Governor Reynolds was asked about those counties' rising cases during her daily news briefing.
Well, that's a part of the whole process. First of all, you need to be able to have the testing in order to do that. You need to have, we've been able to significantly increase our testing capacity, which was the number one perspective in order to be able to open Iowa up, to meet the needs of Iowans, and to really make sure that we could monitor the virus activity across the state.
In reference to Sioux and Buena Vista counties, Reynolds says the state is still doing a lot of surveillance testing, and they're working with local manufacturers and processing facilities to monitor potential hotspots. The White House Coronavirus Task Force says the areas with the highest number of new cases are Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, followed by Nebraska, Illinois, and Minnesota. Nebraska is reporting more than 12,000 positive cases and 150 deaths. More than 88,000 Nebraskans have been tested.
We have done, over the weekend, we crossed the line where we have done twice as many tests, and this is not just Test Nebraska, this is all testing. We've done twice as many tests in May as we did in March and April combined. So testing capacity in the state of Nebraska has really ramped up.
Governor Pete Ricketts says right now about 150,000 residents across the state are signed up for tests through Test Nebraska. He also announced DMV offices will reopen across the state beginning tomorrow. In addition, drivers 72 years or older whose licenses were set to expire this year will be extended for 1 year. South Dakota health officials report 67 new cases of COVID-19, but no new deaths in the state. The new cases bring the state's total to 4,653 cases and 50 deaths from COVID-19. 75% of South Dakota's cases have recovered. More than 35,000 tests have been conducted. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem says she and her Secretary of Education this morning had a discussion about how schools and learning will look in the fall given the current situation with the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think every school district is approaching it differently. I think they're planning to have students in their buildings, but yet putting in contingency plans should they need to make an adjustment at the local level and have kids learn from home as well.
Governor Noem says she believes school administrators and their staffs are being wise in preparing for any situation that could come along this fall. President Trump is defending his response to the coronavirus pandemic today as the national death toll nears the 100,000 mark. This amid worries that looser restrictions in some states could lead to more virus cases in the coming weeks. Alice Barr is in Washington with the latest.
Today, as the U.S. death toll from coronavirus reaches closer to 100,000, the nation is grieving a collective tragedy, while families across the country mourn victims who were more than just numbers.
It's just a tragedy that he's gone.
President Trump tweeting today, if he hadn't done his job well, we would have lost millions of people, noting one person lost is too much, while blaming China for not containing the spread. It comes as infection rates are rising in 18 states. Medical experts point to a correlation to many people beginning to loosen social distancing 2 weeks ago around Mother's Day. And they warn of dangerous consequences from the crowds of partiers over this past Memorial Day weekend.
It won't be surprising to see those cases increasing, likely over the next several weeks.
Images like these from Missouri's Lake of the Ozarks sparking a social media firestorm. Health officials now urging the throngs of people who were there to self-quarantine.
Quarantine yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it for your grandma. Do it for your neighbors and your coworkers.
At the same time, President Trump is calling for large crowds at the Republican National Convention in August. He's threatening to move the event out of North Carolina if the state's Democratic governor does not allow full attendance. In stark contrast, the iconic New York Stock Exchange modeling social distancing when it reopened today, with a quarter of its traders wearing face masks, returning to the floor, and a new normal. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Face masked Brazilians cautiously emerged from isolation to attend Mass and try shopping, even as coronavirus cases and deaths continued at a steady climb. Some residents turned out for a Catholic Mass on Monday, but adhered to guidelines by remaining in their vehicles and wearing face masks. Meanwhile, shoppers began to patronize various stores. The activity comes as the number of deaths in Brazil surpasses the U.S. daily toll. The U.S. has now restricted inbound traffic to the states from Brazil. Brazil has overtaken Russia as the world's #2 coronavirus hotspot after the United States. This weather has turned a little crazy today. Yes, the rain and clouds, but the tornado watch now.
Yeah, for the far eastern sections of the KTIV viewing area, we do have that tornado watch that goes until 8 p.m. So obviously that does not include us here in Sioux City or for any of central and western Siouxland, but it still has been a rainy time of it out there. That's our Signal Hill cam from the KTIV area on the northern side of Sioux City. This is farther off west. A little bit of blue sky showing up on our Niobrara State Park cam, but for the vast majority of us, it has been another day of clouds and some light rain. This is our Spencer cam. As a matter of fact, in Sioux City, we are now approaching 1.5 inches in the past 5 days. That's from Friday through today through Tuesday. Here is the downtown area. Our Blackbird Bend Casino cam has us at 64 degrees, a north wind at 17 miles per hour, so it's going to start to draw in a little bit of drier air. And we're starting to see those showers come to an end for a lot of Nebraska and South Dakota on Storm Track 4, but the